Understanding the difference between psychological crowds and physical crowds could help prevent tragedies at densely packed events. That's according to Sussex University researchers. They say psychological crowds share a social identity and can act as a mass, whereas physical crowds behave as individuals. They filmed 2 groups of volunteers walking on campus, a physical crowd leaving a lecture and this psychological crowd, given black caps and told they shared a common identity.
So what this shows is actually, even though the crowd have got the entire path that they can take up, they've got all the grass around it, what they're doing is they're sticking to one part of the path. They're actually staying close together, clustering close together. They're walking slower in order to keep close together with one another, and they're actually walking further in order to keep this formation, stay together as a group. And you wouldn't see this in the physical crowd, where people will be walking at different speeds and might be rushing past one another, apart from the small groups that are staying together.
Large crowds at public events can be dangerous. Reports suggest that more than 2,000 pilgrims died in the crush at this year's Hajj. This followed a decade of the event passing off safely, after Saudi authorities spent $300 million on safety measures. That's despite 3 million annual visitors and crowds of up to 9 people per square metre round the Grand Mosque. Researchers questioned pilgrims at an earlier Hajj and found many crowd members actually felt safer as the throng got bigger.
So that sounds strange and counterintuitive, and then we looked at some of the other measures and we got an explanation for that, which is the more that people identify with the crowd, the more that they expect social support. And this is a common feature of psychological crowds. That when you're an us or a we, you expect others to support you, to give you help and come to your aid.
The Saudis have hired mathematicians, engineers and computer scientists to make the Hajj safer. The Sussex team says consulting psychologists in future should now be considered.